Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Ken Schumann here for CSI. I'll be joined by Bobby Cotton here in a second in the booth. And on behalf of CSI, we'd like to welcome you to the last day of the 2015 BCA Pool League National 8-Ball Championships. And this event is sponsored by Viking, the official cue of the BCAPL Championships here, and Omega Billiard Supply, our official store. What you've got in front of you right now is the final in the Men's Advanced Masters Team Division between Abusement Park and Unfinished Business. Now, they're all wearing red shirts, so how we're going to distinguish that is at the table now is a player from Unfinished Business, and we're going to say that they have the maroon shirts on and the other team will have the red shirts. Abusement Park, which is at the table right here now, they are undefeated. And this is a double elim, so if they win the first set, they're the champs. If Unfinished Business in the bright red shirts wins, we will have a second set, race to 11. 4 players at a time, 2 tables. Our scoreboard is just above the Viking Q sign that you see in the top of your screen, and we'll, of course, also have that at the bottom of the screen for you as well. And once again, on behalf of our entire CSI family, I want to say how much we've appreciated serving you for the past 11 days with BCA Pool League action, U.S. Open 8-Ball, U.S. Open 10-Ball, challenge matches, etc. Congratulations, of course, to our newly minted U.S. Open 8-Ball champion, Dennis Orcuyo, with a thrilling victory last night over Mike DeShane. So as far as the way the day is going to play out, I'm not really sure. We're going to just take it one match at a time and bring you as much as we can for as long as we can. We may wind up later in the day with matches without commentary. It all depends on how long Bobby and I's voice can last and whether we've got maybe some people to come fill in a little bit. But we'll soldier on here as long as we can and continue to try to bring you this right to a conclusion. Obviously, these players are pretty solid to be in the advanced division and to have made it all the way through to the finals. We'll say hi to everybody, Mr. Cotton.
Hey, what's up? Oh, not on yet. Good morning. Good morning, Ken. It's always good to see you, my friend.
Same here, buddy.
Yep. It's been fun this last 9 days.
It's been great. It always is. I love working with you and Jay. We're a great trio, and it's been just superb. I'm kind of glad we're in the bottom of the 9th inning right now. Mm-hmm. It's pretty well time to go home.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bobby, race to 11 here. The team in the maroon shirts is undefeated. The team in the bright red shirts has got 1 loss. That's Unfinished Business is the bright red shirts.
Uh-huh.
And they'll have to win 2 sets. But, for the folks back at home that aren't that familiar with team play, they use 2 tables. And they play simultaneous games. And as soon as one game's over on one table, the next 2 players step in and play, even if the game on the prior table isn't finished.
This should go fast. If they both win, it's like 2-0, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This should go quick.
It could go just, once and a half through the roster.
Mm-hmm.
But regrettably, and I know the folks back home in Minnesota rooting on Abusement Park, and the same for the Unfinished Business team, which is from Arizona. Sorry, I don't know the cities that they represent, and I don't really even have a list of the names of the players. And even if I did, folks, I'm not sure I could, or Bobby could remember who's who. And so we're just going to have to refer to them by team here.
Well, I can't remember. I was calling you Jay for half the match.
That's right.
I get no shot. I kept calling you Jay.
And I'm sitting next to you, and you know who I am, too.
No, yeah. What do you think, Jay? It's you.
Yeah.
Look at this shot. Is he going to roll out? Ooh. I don't think.
All right, then there's already a game completed on the other table, so you can see the scoreboard. That's 1-0 for Abusement Park.
The Burgundies.
Yeah, burgundy or maroon, sure. Yeah, that's fine. And again, they are the team that's undefeated. Now, the way I understand this, Bobby, you know, the first team to 11 wins, even if there's a, let's say it's 10-10, and there's a game going on each table.
Yeah, that's.
I think the first game to finish ends
it's
it.
Over.
Right.
He just made a heck of a shot on the 2-ball to get back on this 8, I'll tell you.
Yep.
Ooh.
And that's quite nicely
nice
done.
Shot. Boy, he made a heck
and already, you know, in like 5 minutes, it's 2-0 here. On the second table, Abusement Park is breaking. It's alternate break.
Mm-hmm.
And now we'll have 2 players coming in for the second game on this table. Right now you're watching table 2. And that is Abusement Park player at the table. And we're racking them up over here. They don't use the magic rack. I'm imagining that that's just how the rules are set for the amateur play. Otherwise, they would have needed to have like 200,000 magic racks for everything, you know.
Yeah.
But it was required in the pro events and the challenge matches and stuff, and sure goes a lot faster. So here we go with Abusement Park breaking here, leading 2-0, and we're in the second round of the players. Second ball break. Rules are the same here in BCAPL League 8 ball as we played in the just completed last night U.S. Open 8 ball, so no need to really go over the rules. You've been with us all week. You kind of know what they are.
I hope everybody's liked this all week. Our commentary and all the streaming has been fun.
It has been fun, Bobby, and I must say my hat's off to you and Jay, you know, in addition, okay, I'll take a little credit to have a little bit, but, you know, you two guys add so much color to the broadcast, and I've been stopped in the hall 150 times at least this week with people expressing how much they've enjoyed listening to us up in the rooms all week.
Yeah, that's cool.
And, you know, I think we've done a pretty good job of keeping them informed and also keeping them a little bit entertained.
Keeping them informed of what we think, how they're going to try to do, what they're going to do. It's
exactly.
been fun.
Yeah, it really has. And we've already, our team up here has already made many notes to help us get better for next year.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy, that's a bad miss right there.
He's trying to slide it in.
Yeah, but he's hooked the other guy.
Well, it's open still.
Oh, it's still open?
Yeah,
broke. He just made a ball in the break. Okay, well, stripes are the deal here, and both of those stripes right there go that he's lining up there, the 14 there, the 9.
I might try to get on the 9 and then draw into the 1 rather than
right. Oh, I like
way.
no. Well, yeah. I like that because then you could pretty much keep the 14 as your last ball and slide over for the 8 or come straight in, depending on how you get on it.
I'd shoot the 10 first here.
Well,
hope he is.
He may be so straight. Well, he's still got to draw it. If he draws it back under the 15, he can shoot the 13, but the 15's a tough ball. I might play for a combination here.
I think he goes behind it.
Well, even if it doesn't go, he's playing for the combination. But either way, this is the correct next ball to be played. Thing is, if he plays it off the object ball, off the 13, he's got to watch where the cue ball's going and where the 13's going.
All right. If he does it like that, he better shoot hard enough to get out.
Right.
In the middle.
Right. He may just dribble it in too. Yeah, well, that's pretty smart there.
Yeah.
He had a good idea where Whitey was going, and he knew where the 13 would go. And like I said, you don't get to the finals of an advanced master division without having some pool knowledge. Excuse me. And this is the team from Unfinished Business at the table right now in the bright red shirts. They have yet to get on the board.
He's got to make sure he don't get too wide of an angle here. Is it going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ken, what do you think?
I'd like to get as close to the deuce as I could.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to stop. No, he might be a little.
God, they switched tables. I'm like, how'd the
Yeah.
balls move? You see?
I saw that too.
Did you? I'm
I
like,
looked at the monitor.
Where'd the ball go?
Well, he's shooting. He's shooting. He's going to be shooting the 8 next, and I think they just want to cover the end of the rack.
I didn't see, but I'm like, where'd the 2 go?
All right. Well, we'll stay here and see if Abusement can take
Steve thinks it's funny.
take a 3-0 lead, and they've done that. We'll get back over here, and that's what you thought was going to happen. And back on here on the main table, he didn't have enough angle on the 9 ball, and now he's wound up.
It goes though, doesn't it?
Oh, he's so close to it though.
Oh, this is not hard. You think? I can't really tell. It looks.
Well,
like
it looks like it's headed to the point, but I can't tell how much room you got between the 2 balls.
We got our referee Ken watching this shot because it's really close to keep from fouling. Anytime the cue ball's the width of a piece of chalk or closer but not frozen, the cue ball can't go straight ahead. He's got to go off to the side, which I think he's going to do. I think he's all right here. As you can see, the cue ball went to the side.
All right, I think that was Unfinished Business's first rack, so our score should be 3-1 for Abusement Park now, Steve. Yeah, the player that just made the 8 over here has told his teammate that's racking to flip the scoreboard when they get a chance. But the score you see is correct. This is table 2. Unfinished Business at the table there, trailing 3-1.
I'll sure like I'm playing on 2 tables. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Occasionally in some of the divisions when they get them kind of backed up, I've seen them use 3 tables.
Yeah.
For the 5-player teams. Sitting at the desk in a striped shirt is the shift supervisor. Yeah, because in the meantime, I'll do the reffing if they can't dedicate someone over here. But I didn't know about the magic ref.
We have plenty.
Well, we'll just have to tell the captains. The ref can do that when he comes over. Because they haven't been using it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, thank you. Getting a little clarification here on the use of the magic rack. We believe it is mandatory here on the TV tables. Maybe it wasn't in the outer arena. JP's going over to check with the shift supervisor for the referees on duty here to see if we have a ref that will come over to cover this. As we know, normally I'll take care of it myself when there is no one else available. But we'll see what happens. But either way, someone's going to probably need to come over and tell the captains if there's going to be an equipment change. This is all new to us, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time in the history of this event we've ever streamed other than the pros, and I have to say it's kind of it's a nice diversion from that. But it's going to take a season or so for me and Jay and Bobby to kind of get a little more familiar with the team rules and used to keeping our eyes on 2 tables and 8 to 10 players. So a lot of the play, we may just have to let it describe itself out there and do our best to keep you interested.
Where do you live?
Just outside of Sacramento.
Okay. I think I asked you that before. I just forgot.
Did Jay leave already?
Yeah, he's flying out at like a noon.
Okay, yeah, well, okay. Okay,
That turned out pretty good.
yeah, both tables, unfinished business is at the table on both tables. So if they complete these outs, they will tie the match. And let me go tell the captains.
Yes.
That's from Ozzy.
Hang on.
Well, the score is 3-2, boys and girls.
Sure. Just let me know if I need to tell the captains. Nothing's ever simple around here. All right. Well, Unfinished won that rack, and the score is 3-2. The other table is still in progress, but Abusement is at the table with just a ball or 2 left. And they're on the 8 ball now. As you can clearly see, we switched over. And this will make it 4-2 for Abusement Park. And that has happened.
Is Abusement Park, they're from Minnesota?
Yes, they're from Minnesota. Unfinished business is from Arizona.
Right.
As I said, I don't know the particular areas, but it could be from all over the state.
I was in Minneapolis gambling at the pool room there called Gentleman Jim's. I got snowed in. I couldn't leave for 3 days.
That can
in
get
the
expensive.
Mid-70s. 3 days. Well, I beat the guy for $1,000. The guy that
okay.
was hanging around there. Don Gibson was his name.
Yeah.
But we got snowed in. The snow was like 6 feet up against the door. We couldn't get out.
I hope they didn't run out of beer and food.
Nah, man, it was actually fun.
Yeah.
This was like in 75 or 76.
Uh-huh.
They had a bar in Minneapolis called Moby Dick's. It was a 24-hour joint.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about some nutcases went in this place. You wouldn't have believed. There was action, but you had to worry about getting to your car when it was over. Moby Dick's. All the old-timers know about it. That's from Minneapolis. Old-timers our age.
I was just advised that unfinished business is from the Phoenix area. And the man that advised me would know because it was Mr. Mike Howerton. Thank you, Michael. So here we go with unfinished breaking, trailing 2-4. Thank you. I'd lean to the solids a little bit here because of the 8.
I would too.
But, and he's got opening shots on both balls.
He's
Going to have to come down here now for the 13, but if he
Right.
comes too far, he's going to have to be a little careful with Whitey.
He can
and
draw
then-
back here and shoot the 9.
Yeah, he can do that. Yeah, Bobby. Does that 11 go up there in the upper right through the gap? Even if, what if the 12's not there?
I don't
It's
know.
just a question of if it
Yeah.
passes the 6. I mean, it looks like it does. It
He-
always
or-
goes in the other
He
corner.
might shoot the 12 and stop. shoot
Yeah.
11
Oh,
in the
yeah.
side.
Sure. Oh.
This wasn't this. Oh,
Well, he's got the 10.
yeah. I'm just
But
thinking-
he's bumped the 8 into
Yeah.
a spot where he's now going to have to probably wind up leaving the 9 to get on the 8 in the lower left or in the side where the 10's going.
That's what I was going to say.
And move the 8 again. We've seen that strategy employed quite a bit throughout the week, where guys will move the 8 ball into a more favorable position
Look
to
what-
make it easier to get to. But he's kind of trapped himself
don't have
now.
He don't have a ball that goes.
Well, he can play the 12 rail first. I
Yeah.
think that's all he's got.
That's all he's got.
Well, if the 11 goes, Bobby, he's got access
I
to
don't-
it.
Yeah, it might. It looks like maybe he might probably have half a pocket. Maybe it's pretty close.
I'd rather shoot the 11 to half a pocket than
Kick
than
the-
rail first
Oh,
the 12.
Yeah. That 12's sitting pretty far off the rail.
Yeah.
And if he kicks a 12, then he might be go behind the 15. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
scratch something goofy happen.
Yeah, or just get behind it and have nothing
Yeah.
to shoot.
I believe this ball goes. He just got to roll it and bump the 15, and he's.
Oh,
It goes.
yeah.
It goes.
A little bit cheating to the left.
Little-
Good. Nope.
Oh, no.
No.
And now look where he's. And look what he did to the balls.
Well, he's left a wide open layout for the opponents.
He's debating whether to shoot the 4 or the 5 here.
I like the 5, only because you're close to it. You won't scratch anywhere. The 4 will stop the cue ball from going to the side.
And you're going down here.
If you shoot the 4, I mean, that's okay, but you'd have to kind of roll it so you don't run into the 7.
I like the 5 myself.
I do too.
And then he's going to shoot the 4.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't fault him for shooting the 4. It's just preference. You and I would probably shoot the 5,
Yeah.
but you can't say that this is the wrong shot.
Plus, you can hit the 5 a little bad and still make it.
Yeah.
This works. Bounce up a little bit.
Well, you gotta take a little caution here. You gotta
Yeah.
know where the 2 ball's going, and you gotta know what you've got next. I'm pretty sure you'd have the 5 at a minimum after this if the 2 doesn't float in front of the side pocket.
Yeah.
And if he hits the full in the face on the deuce, he's right there for the 7 in the side. I think he's going to graze it though.
I don't like how he hit that.
Yeah. Well, luckily he can make the 7. That's all he can make.
Hit that ball 2 times too hard. Don't
Yes.
you think?
Yes, definitely. That's just a little nudge shot there, you know.
Yeah, he just wanted to get out, I guess, out where he could. I don't know. He's all right.
Am I going to see you in December at Moscone Cup? You going to come?
Yes, I'll be there.
Excellent, excellent. You know, we should have because the events in the daytime, you know, it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. because it's here and it has to be prime time in England. So that's why they do it daytime. That should give us an opportunity to have a dinner.
Yeah, you know who else wants to go out with us is Stefano.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Palinga.
Stefano Palinga, yeah.
He's such a nice guy, you know.
Yeah, he's quite a character, very entertaining.
You know, he had
great
he
trick shot artist.
He was in bad shape here a while back.
Was he?
Shit.
Oh, I didn't know
Just
that.
about died. He had,
oh my God.
He had brain surgery.
Wow, I didn't know.
He had a brain aneurysm.
Oh gosh.
And they caught it just in time.
Well, thank God.
Yeah. He's fun. I've been out with him many times. He likes to go to Italian places, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very nice guy.
Well, good. We'll definitely plan to do that.
Yeah.
Don't hit the stripe. Not from there.
Yeah, he's still okay.
Yeah, but he's got to shoot the 2 off the rail.
I would try to roll down far
For
enough
the
to shoot
7?
7.
Yeah,
thanks.
right, because the 5 connects you better to the 8.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's see if you
Great
can just...
minds think alike is what it is, Ken.
We went to the same school of medicine.
Yes.
Let's see if he stays down and smooth through this. Keeps his head still. He did. You could, you know, if you look at a... Oh, boy. Well, a lot of times, if you just watch a player's head when they shoot, you can pretty much know if they've made the ball or not. If their head don't move, they probably are going to pocket the ball, assuming they're, you know, lined up and aimed correctly, and you have to assume that, too, at this level.
I've jumped up a few times, looked like I was going to sprain my back.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the main reason everybody misses is the jump up.
Right. The score's 5-2 now because Abusement got out on the other table.
I'd go forward here if it doesn't have that much of an angle. Wouldn't you? Or no? Can he bounce?
I just come straight
Can
across.
he bounce? Oh, yeah, he's got enough angle.
Yeah.
I see it.
Good shot.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a bigger angle than what I thought. Look like he was straight in.
Right. So they're about to break off on table 2 in what will be the 9th game. And this will give Abusement another game, and it'll take them to 6-2. And remember, they are the team on the undefeated side, the maroon shirts from Phoenix. Excuse me, the maroon shirts from Minnesota. So they're more than halfway home here to the championship.
I'm not going to tell the story because it's too long, but I was in a situation in Duluth, Minnesota, 30-something years ago, and they still talk about it till this day. You'll not. I wish I could. It's just too long.
Do you have a Reader's Digest condensed version? Or
yes, I was playing pool with the 2 toughest brothers in Duluth, real bad guys. I beat them out of a lot of money. The guy flipped the pool table over. 3 boxers knocked the guy out while the guy was trying to punch me. The guy flipped the table over on its side. The boxers made an appointment to fight next week with this tough guy. And this is all true story, and they still talk about it. It was the Williams brothers in Duluth. A couple years back, I was at the bar at the Riviera, and these guys are talking about it. And this is 30 years ago, and I said, "Dude, that was me that was playing." They said, "No way." Anyway, you got to buy the book to hear the whole story. But people still talk about it. Anyway, forget it.
You did good on that. That was like a minute or less.
Quick.
Yeah, real. See, you can tell short stories.
I can.
As long as you have someone next to you keeping you short.
Yeah, exactly.
and it ain't Jay.
Jay gets me wound.
Well, I know you two are like gas and fire.
Well, he gets me wound up, and it goes back and forth.
I know. Maybe one night we'll just do a storytelling podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay gets me all wound up,
Right.
and I can't help it.
Look here. Here, Abusement Park is at the table in both games, as you can see in the background. And they've got the 6-2 lead. If they happen to win these two racks and go 8-2 ahead, it's going to be pretty darn hard there on unfinished business. But let's take a look here, because this is well, it's a little tricky. I think you got to shoot the stripes.
Got to shoot the 11 from here.
Right, and then the 13 up there by the 3, it looks like there's room between the two balls, and you can slide over for the other stripe in the same pocket.
That was a good. That was a good shot.
It was a good shot.
Get out there and knock that ball away. And
right, he didn't block any paths. I wouldn't go to the 13 now, but what else does he have?
Can he cut the 12 in this? That's too
nah,
thin. Too thin.
And I don't like sending the 1 up there in traffic.
No.
But he may have to, Bobby, because it's all he's got. If he goes for the 13, I don't know if he can punch it out there for the other stripe, unless the other stripe goes under the 6. It must, or he'd never play it that soft. But he's not good there. That's the danger on shooting a shot softly from that distance. He couldn't hit the 13 any fatter to slow the cue ball down, because the 3 impeded that side of the 13 ball.
He's got to shoot the 14 here.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he's got a pocket.
The 14 goes.
Oh, the 14. I'm sorry, not the ball next to the cue ball.
Because I don't like shooting the 10 from here.
No. I don't. He's looking at it.
He's got to shoot the 14.
The problem with shooting the 10 is,
then what?
What do you do next? Right. The only thing would be you'd have to shoot it with a stop shot to play the 12 in the opposite corner.
I didn't think he hit that piece of the cue ball. Yeah, if he could shoot and stop, that's a shot. But he can't stop his ball.
Right, and he can't go forward.
No, he's got to shoot this.
This is actually more of a potential game-winning shot if he can slice the 14 in. And I don't think he's in any danger of knocking the 8 in the side if he does that.
No.
But he is looking at the 10.
Well,
even if he rolls forward and hits the 5, he's still alive. Boy, he one stroke, didn't split the cup.
He hit it good too.
Yeah, sometimes you get up there and you hit those quickly just out of fear, get it over with.
Now he's going to shoot the 15 next.
The 12.
After the
12, 15, right, and then straight in on the 14 for the game.
Yeah, this guy, I like his stroke and everything. You can tell he's a good player.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you can kind of see that this unfinished business team is not quite maybe.
He got good here just to draw back. I don't know. No, he's a little too much of an angle. But he might shoot this in, kind of twist it in.
Actually, I would draw back about where it is,
yeah.
And then you could play 2 rails around the 1 for the 8 in the side, right?
Yeah.
Because trying to get on the 14 from here, from the 15 now, you really got to kill your rock.
I think he's just going to push it at, like, say, 5 o'clock. Just push it, spins right toward it. Don't have to draw the ball.
A little bit of low right.
Yeah, just push it. Just like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he hit it good. This guy plays good. He's a good player.
Sure is. Seems quite confident, He just gets down quick and a couple of warm-up strokes, and he's playing well. This will be for 7-2.
Yeah, he plays good. He's nice out there. Nice out there.
Mm-hmm. And on the other table, unfinished business finally gets one back on the board. So it's going to be 7-3 now. And we'll have 4 new players coming in.
Well, I was pulling up to the parking lot, and it was like half full, and I got all teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Really,
everybody's leaving.
I hate it when people are leaving. I did. I got all I got all verklempt.
I tell you how many people are leaving. I got on the elevator on the 13th floor and made 12 stops on the way down.
Oh, I know.
It stopped on and the thing was full when I got on.
I like to get on there with one other person, just push all the floors.
Someone did that in some of the other elevators, but this thing, it stopped on every floor from 13 to the casino, and no one could get on any time we stopped. We were packed.
I've done that before drinking. Just push every button.
Oh yeah. Well, you're a real grown up.
Yeah. I still think I'm 12.
Yeah. Well.
What are you going to do? I went back to Memphis, a couple of years back to buy that pool room. And I'm a grandfather, and I said, I just don't fit this role too good. Uh-oh. Well, he made the 8 on the break. He's taking the solids here, Ken. Look, if he gets a shot, these balls are sitting sweet.
Hmm. 7-3. First to 11 wins. And if Abusement Park wins this set, they are the champions.
How much do they win?
I'm not sure. I really don't know what the payouts are for the team events.
So what you going to be doing, Ken, when you go back home? Just hanging around for a few weeks and resting?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is nothing. But I got a couple things I got to take care of. I just closed the week before I came here. Closed on a refi on my house, so I got all that finally done. And going to do a little bit of painting in the kitchen, maybe, and a little tree trimming. And then I got a brand new car about 8 months ago, and I got a recall notice already on the thing. They got to fix what they say is a potential fire hazard on the emergency brake cable under the car. So I got to make an appointment to bring
You're going to paint
that
the kitchen, you said?
Yeah, I had my whole house remodeled a couple of years ago. I had the kitchen done like 10 years ago, and the color I picked for the kitchen back then looked good. Now that I did the rest of the house, I want to make the kitchen the same. Well, that's something I can probably do myself.
I'll give you a good hint for painting. I know a lot about painting.
Okay.
And this is really important.
All right.
It's okay. We got time. I painted a couple houses with my son, goofing around.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use Behr paint from Home Depot.
I don't. I usually use
I'll tell you the best paint to use.
Valspar.
Ralph Lauren.
Okay. Well, I use Sherwin-Williams sometimes.
Ralph
too.
Lauren's a nuts.
Really?
One coat, it's smooth. It goes on. You don't have they call them holidays,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see through it. Behr paint, you got to coat it like 3 times. Ralph Lauren paint, just 1 time. It's amazing.
And it's got primer already in it too.
Everything is
right.
really, really nice. And plus, I had one of those electric things, painter things.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea how that works. You ever use one?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what I can do. If you just use a roller
Mm-hmm.
and let me use my electric thing where you put the paint in the bucket, I'll paint the whole room before you can paint one wall.
I'm sure the guy that painted The rest of my house did it. He did it with the sprayer.
But with this roller thing, because you just adjust a little dial on the bucket that you wear on your side, and the paint just keeps coming on the out of the roller.
Oh,
so
nice.
you don't have to keep
So you
dipping.
don't keep dipping.
And it doesn't drip. I can paint a whole room before you can paint one wall. That's a very good tip. And the roller costs like maybe the paint and roller costs like maybe $65, $70, and it's really worth the money.
I'll remember that, Bobby. As a
Tell
matter
him.
of fact, what might be better is for you to fly in and give me a
Come paint.
give me a demonstration. Yeah.
We'll have a painting party.
Yeah. I got a room for you. I'll put you up, paint. We'll go play some pool and.
Can I bring my
all
kitty
that.
with me midnight?
I have an animal-free home.
Oh God!
But for you, I'd make an exception. But she's got to sleep in your room.
Oh yeah, he sleeps right beside me.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, folks, that we got a little sidetracked here, but
I couldn't let
you
that
have
pass. I couldn't
yeah.
let that go.
But you have to
Well, I want to help you
cut
out.
us a little slack here on our 13th day of doing nonstop
And I want to help you
commentary.
out here, my buddy. If I have a chance to give you a little good advice on the painting, I feel like it's my duty.
Uh-huh.
Is he shooting the solids here? Apparently he is. Isn't he? I mean, is he shooting this? He's got to be shooting the solid, right? That's why taking that much time. They're fixing to move ahead 9-3.
Yeah. And heck, this has only been 45 minutes.
Yeah, this is playing on two
I
tables.
love this two-table stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The only difficulty is we can kind of only pay attention to one table for where we're sitting, and toggle the camera. You're watching table 2 now, and that is Abusement Park at the table, leading 8-3.
He made a nice shot just then. He taking a little time on this.
Yeah, well, he's just going to be careful of this corner pocket. I dig down a little on the cue ball. I think he's okay.
No, he's going to hit like 3 inches from the
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
right on the
yeah,
rail.
he's all right. That's that same guy that played over here a couple games ago and shot really well. Remember, that's a guy that he speared in that long 10 ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Left-handed player. Okay, that's going to make it 9-3 now for Abusement Park. Unfinished business breaking right here in front of you. Oh, right in the drink. And that's probably going to
by 11 first shot.
It's probably going to put them on the hill.
Yeah. He's shooting the 11 in the corner first shot, and from there everything's look at all those balls hanging, right by the pocket down there.
Yeah, once you get the 11 out, then you're playing on half the table. I think he's going right between the 3 and the 2 with the cue ball.
Yeah. Just make sure he misses these balls. He don't want to graze.
Yeah.
He don't want to graze the 2. I'd shoot in the other pocket myself. And
yeah, but then you may be cutting it where you might have to risk hitting the 1. Well, he's going to bump the 3. I think he's going through the gap. Well, he did bump the 3.
He's all right.
Now we play the 14 straight up there by the 6 and play a stop shot, and it should be tap from there. Unfinished is breaking on table 2. Made a few balls.
Good shot there, nice and solid, boy.
Yeah, everybody on this
they're good players.
Abusement Park team looks really solid.
Yeah.
They have done this before.
I actually love playing on these teams. Like I've done this many times. I won it one year. My team won the whole thing. Like me, Frank the Barber, Dave DiTillo, a couple other guys.
Right. Do you ever do commentary with Frank Almanza?
No.
I got to do some a few years ago. We was down at Hard Times in Bellflower. It might have been, I'll tell you what it was. It was a challenge match. John Mora and Oscar Dominguez, they were playing race to 100 over 3 days on that table with the 3 7/8 pockets.
Was Frank good?
Frank is an excellent commentator. I was very, very surprised. We had a lot of fun together. Really enjoyed it.
I've
But
known
it's been
Frank
but it's
forever.
been a while since we've done that.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Was he really a barber, or did he
Yes,
just?
he really
That's
was a
what
barber,
I
yeah.
thought so. Yeah. Okay, well, a mere 2 balls away from the hill here for Abusement Park.
I started doing this commentary thing when they asked me to do the tar thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a commentator.
No.
I put that on Facebook like, dude, I'm just saying the same thing if I was sitting up in the stands with you.
Mhm.
I don't know how to do this professionally. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
I'm just saying like it is.
well, I'll tell you the same thing, and that's when you and I started working together. Was tar like 3-4 years ago, and my approach to commentary. And of course, I watched for years and years. I watched Billy and Grady and Danny and all them guys back in the 80s and 90s. But I've always felt the best approach to doing pool commentary, with a partner, of course, would be as if you and I were sitting at the match or at our home watching it on TV. And we're just talking to each other about what we see. Okay, we've got to talk about sponsors and, other things here and schedules and little player background and stuff. But I don't know that there's...
Oh, the rack. He's got to use the rack. Magic rack.
Yeah. Hey, unfinished. You need to use the magic rack. Would you re-rack them, please? Thank you. Okay. Unfinished got one back on the other table, too, now, Steven. So it's 10-4.
You and I are on this. We're like Abbott and Costello. and which one is the funny one? That's Costello.
Oh, yeah. Abbott was the straight man.
You're Abbott.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'd like to think of it more as I'm Mo and you guys are Curly and Larry.
Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah, you'd be a better Curly because you're just such a goofy guy. Jay would be Larry.
Yeah.
Well, if Abusement Park wins either game here, they are the champions.
Yeah.
And both racks are about to break, but unfinished business is breaking on both tables.
Yeah. Neither one needs to scratch. That's for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Remember that scene in The Color of Money where everybody broke at the same time?
Yeah,
Wasn't
like that ever happens.
Wasn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen, though?
It was. Well, I'll tell you. I'll actually tell you, we did that when we had them 2 IPT tournaments here back in 2006, because the rules there was that everybody had a lag with the 1 ball and a 5 ball, and everybody had a lag at the same time. Charlie or City was the tournament director. And he'd get on the mic on the loudspeaker, and he'd say, all right, gentlemen, prepare to lag. And then he'd say lag. And they'd all lag at the same time. And pretty much because of the time to lag, and they were using the Sardo rack back then. That was like the first version of the Sardo rack, the one that weighed like 80 pounds.
I remember.
It was a good device at the time. And they'd rack the balls up. And then we had 60 tables. And actually... they almost all did break at about the same time, and you just hear racks being broken for about a minute straight. It was really
cool.
kind of neat, yeah. We actually did that here 2 years ago when we had our U.S. Open 8-ball and 10-ball and 1-pocket championships here on the big tables a few years ago, and we employed a similar approach where we had them all lag at the same time and then break right after. No good.
Is there any rules anywhere for lagging?
Yes, there are lag rules. For example,
you can't hit 2 rails, right?
No, you can hit as many rails as you want. You can't hit the long rail.
Okay, that's what I was
So
thinking.
when you lag, here's how you can lose a lag. You can lose a lag if your ball hits a long rail.
Right.
You can lose a lag if your ball crosses the center line of the table, like the center string between the center diamonds on the short rails. A straight line down the middle of the table.
Oh,
There's not one drawn on there,
but it can't go to either. It can't go to the
but
side?
there is one imaginary line there called the center string. It's the string that you would
Yeah.
spot balls on,
Right, and it can't go across.
You can't
that.
cross that line. You can't hit the other guy's ball.
That's what I was going to think. I was going to wait till the guy
No, you
lagged,
can't do
and
that.
I'd shoot his ball in the hole.
And there's two other things that would cost you loss of the lag. If your lagged ball came to rest on the table, but it was inside the jaw of the corner pocket.
Oh, okay.
In other words, it was beyond
table,
the head cushion,
yeah,
the
yeah.
edge of the cushion.
Yeah.
That would be loss of lag. And then the other thing, and this is more unsportsmanlike than anything else, would be if you delay until your other opponent's balls
Right.
almost come to a stop,
Right.
and then you lag because you're supposed
That's a big edge.
Right. The rule says you're supposed to lag at approximately the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So there are ways to lose the lag.
I always wanted to wait till the guy lagged and me shoot at his ball.
Mhm.
I'm just joking.
Speaking of lag, and it hasn't ever come up this week, and I almost wished it did so I could have demonstrated it. But have you ever seen how I judge who won the lag if the balls are close?
How?
Don't ever go stand on the side of the table
Right.
to look.
What do you do?
What you do, Bobby, is you can stand at either end. Let's say I'm going to stand up here at the breaking end of the table.
At the breaking in, okay.
I mean, the rack end, where the balls are racked.
Right.
So you got two balls in the kitchen that they've just lagged.
Right.
And they appear to be similarly close, so you
Right.
got to have a look. What you do is you stand right by the middle diamond in the back here, and you slowly bend down, and with your eyes, you're looking at the top of both object balls,
I got you.
and you're using the edge of the cushion as your horizon line
Of the end rail?
of the end rail.
All right.
And as you bend down, the top of the ball that meets that imaginary line on the cushion that you see first, he wins the lag. Because he's got to be closer to the rail for you to see it
I see that.
top. And the way I demonstrate that is you put them like a foot apart, and it's real easy to see. Now, there's another trick to do that, too. Let's say, because the balls are wide apart on a 9-foot table, like they're where you can't really see them both in your peripheral vision that way, you go to the other end of the table,
Do the same
and
thing.
you bend down completely where the balls have disappeared. You can't see them.
Yeah.
You squat down, and now you slowly come up.
Really?
And the first ball that you see the top of is closer to the rail.
That's really cool. Yeah, that works. That's great information. I never knew all that.
That's how we have taught that
No, that
in
is
these schools here ever since we started this training program here years and years and years ago. Because the reason for going on the side is not good is you can never stand exactly parallel.
Yeah.
And if you look from one side and then you walk around to the other side, you're never going to stand in the exact same spot on the other side that you were. Now, and the third reason not to do it that way is then you start taking out pieces of chalk or measure with the end of your cue or your finger, and it's the most unprofessional looking thing you ever see. You imagine them doing that at the World Pool Championships or the Moscone Cup or whatever. So it's something that everybody should have some fun with at home. Go put two balls out there, put them a foot apart, one a foot closer to the rail than the other one, and that will show you easily what I'm talking about.
I'm glad I asked you this question.
And then you can start to make them closer and closer until you actually get a feel for it. And it's foolproof, Bobby. And a lot of times it results in, if you can't tell, you can't tell. So if you can't tell, they just have to lag over.
Match is over.
Well, one ball for the championship here, and the guy at the other table isn't even shooting. He's waiting because he knows it's over. If this goes in, Abusement Park from Minnesota are your Advanced Men's Master Team champions. Congratulations, and congratulations to Unfinished Business for their runner-up finish.
Well, I'm glad I asked you about that lagging because that's information I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I've been playing pool 50 years.
When we get a second, I'll go out there and actually show it to you because it's really neat. And every time I've ever done it, 100 people come up to me and said, What the hell was that? How'd you do
Yeah,
that?
what are you
Because
doing?
people don't know that. You have to be shown or taught. But anyway, we're gonna go off the air here audibly anyway for a minute until we know what's coming up next. When we do, we'll put it up on the screen for you.